when I cited transportation as one of the tools that we could use to bridge and bring down the cost of housing. Part of the feedback that I got suggested that there is a confusion. The example somebody cited pointed directly at the Dangote refinery and how that refinery has been used to sell lands that are in the middle of nowhere. And I guess that particularly captures the difference between transport-led development, something we also call transit-oriented development, and just random politically motivated development. So let's compare them together. First of all, the way most of developments happen is we build first and then connect later. And that is why you will see airports in the middle of nowhere. And afterwards, we build roads to connect it, putting the cart before the horse. As is often the case when real estate companies use that development to sell properties. So people who buy are then forced to lifelong commitment of daily commute, of traffic, of stress, of health issues, high transportation costs, and generally poor living standards. But what transit-oriented or transport-led development is an approach that sees the city as a living system of people, how they work, how they interact, how they socialize, how they communicate, how they do business, and to drive and influence sustainable development and make it easy for residents to walk, cycle, use public transport, use the tramway, or use the ferry system at will and at convenience. So let's go to the example that I mentioned earlier. Development would see that refinery development from the perspective of creating a network of transportation systems that make it accessible for people to live, work, commute, and reach the opportunities that such refineries provide. And so instead of just creating or expanding one road that connects the refinery, let's ensure every other part of the state is actively and seamlessly connected to the refinery, and let's replicate opportunities evenly across the entire part of the state. So, but the general principle is to create smart cities such that services, social interaction, communication, business, and economic opportunities are evenly distributed and generally connected and accessible to everybody, making sure every community, every LGA has equal amount of opportunities and is well connected with other LGAs. And within 10 to 15 minutes walking or cycling or driving, you can access anything and everything you want. And for those opportunities that are not close to you, public transportation is just 5 minutes away without the hassle of high transportation cost or sitting endlessly in traffic. And the effect of this on housing is people no longer have to choose where they live, primarily based on the cost of rent, but rather because of the opportunities that are available to them or the opportunities they can access by the reason of where they live. And that is how transit oriented or transport led development makes a city smarter and makes living better, and in return makes housing more accessible and affordable. I hope this helps.